The night was darker than sin. The wheels on the cement roadway hummed in the night, much like a madman's lullaby. The moon was hanging in the sky, but its rays didn't comfort anyone on the bus. Gentle snoring was heard throughout the aisles. The children had had a busy day at camp, but it was time to return home. The countryside rolled past the windows. Nothing could be seen except for one lone shadow. No one else had seen it moving, except for John, who had seen the dark shape the night before they left camp. He begged the teachers to believe him, but his plea fell on deaf ears. It was moving unnaturally fast. It somehow managed to keep up with the bus for the last 2 hours. Its long, lean muscles flexed each time its legs hit the ground. John thought it looked like something crossed between a wolf and a tiger, but he could not explain what it was. It was always in the shadows. They only had to make it 20 more miles, then they would be safe. Or would they? John thought to himself. Fut, fut, fut. John could almost hear its legs smashing into the ground as it ran. He could see it in the fields, running. John looked away momentarily to see if anyone else was looking at the window, but everyone was fast asleep. As John looked back out the window, he gasped in horror. He could feel his cold breath escape his lips. It was no longer in the field. It was right next to the bus. He could see it now. Its long legs were slender and graceful, like that of a big cat. They looked like they were not touching the ground, but were gliding just above it. Its fur was deep black and darker than the surrounding darkness. Its body was muscular, and John could see the muscle striations as it moved effortlessly. But the thing that scared John the most was its head. The beast looked like some mutated creature. Its head resembled a bull with deer antlers. Off the point of each antler, there was a strip of skin, swaying, almost like it was dancing. Its vermilion eyes were glued onto John's. He could feel that, given the opportunity, this thing would drag him to hell. John stifled a scream. Something inside him said it would be over if he made a noise now. "What are you doing, John?" A stern voice came from one of the teachers behind him. John said nothing. He sat there, petrified, not moving his eyes from the beast. "John, what the hell is that?" The teacher started to scream. The beast's mouth started to open and started moving in a jerking motion. Large fangs rolled out of its mouth, and these tusks almost hit the ground as it ran. John could tell they were stained dark brown with the blood of previous conquests. Without warning, the beast disappeared from view, and the bus lurched suddenly to the side of the road. John could hear the driver starting to swear. Bright orange sparks could be seen erupting from outside the window. John realised it had slashed the tyres. There was a loud groaning sound as the bus started to tip over. John could see the ground outside the window rushing up to meet them as the bus landed on its side. The sound of metal kissing the cement would scar John for the rest of his life. Finally, the bus stopped, and there was silence. All John could hear was nothing. Why were the kids not screaming? There was not a word from any of them. He was too scared to move. He knew it was outside, waiting for them. Almost like it sensed John thinking about it. John heard it land on the side of the overturned bus. It stood there, looking down at John. Its long, snake-like tongue licked its lips, and it seemed ready to take John. The beast's snout flared with long puffs of steam. A long tongue unfurled and crept down into the bus, moving from seat to seat, seeking out John. He could smell the rancid scent of rotten eggs as its tongue got closer. It stopped a few inches from John's face, and he knew it was his time. Squeezing his eyes tightly, John wondered why they didn't believe him. Now he was going to die. John could hear something heavy being dragged upwards, but he was not moving. "Be brave, John," he scolded himself, his eyes shakily opened. That was when he saw Mr. Ireland being dragged towards the beast. Its large tongue had wrapped around his leg and was pulling him upwards towards the creature. With the flick of its tongue, Mr. Ireland disappeared into the night, along with the beast. It was reported that one of the bus's tyres blew and the driver lost control. All the children were reported to be unharmed, and none remembered what happened. The only casualty was one of the teachers, who was allegedly thrown from the bus through a window when it crashed. But John knew the truth. A few nights later, after the incident, John was home and was ready to go to sleep. But something pulled him from his bed. He knew he had to get up. His feet touched the cold floor as he started to walk towards the window. Reaching out, he took hold of the familiar blue cotton curtain. Wrapping his fingers around the coarse fabric, he pulled it open. He did not remember stumbling backwards, but John would recognize that shadow standing outside his window. All he knew was he mustn't scream. But from behind him, there was a shriek that sounded like his little sister. It was then when John knew it was too late. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's lullaby. If you did, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, keep watching for what's in the dark.